I'm really excited to be introducing a brand new series to the channel, not for redstone or farms, but for build schematics. So whether you're looking for something to build or just trying to find some inspiration, hopefully you will come across something that you enjoy. I'm going to kick off this series with this simple owl statue. I originally used this as a rocket shop. I called it Stumpy's Rockets because the owl's wings are just so stumpy that he needs rockets to help him fly. Now, a big reason I wanted to start off with something simple is I've been unsure how to handle these build tutorials, because block by block for something like a statue or a house seems really hard and kind of painful, not only for me to make, but for you to follow, doing it one block at a time. So instead of doing it that way, we're going to try building it layer by layer. So let me know what you think about it, and if there's anything I could do to make the process easier. I'll also post a world download on my Discord, totally free. So if you're using Holoprint or Structura, you can pop over there and grab a copy. Before jumping into the build tutorial, I want to talk about some of the customization options that I've done to this in the past. Just in case you're using this as inspiration, or you plan on holoprinting, I wouldn't want you to miss out on some of these things. So like if we want him to be holding an item, we can just pop out this slab right here on the front, and then just build the item attached to his wing right here. For the rocket shop, I wanted it to be very apparent what was being sold. So I wanted him to be holding a rocket so that you could tell at a glance. And all we have to do that is mess with some red and white concrete and then add some black stone walls down here at the bottom. And now he's holding a rocket, and so we can instantly tell what's being sold. Whether for personality or advertising, it's as easy as that. Now when it comes to the items being sold, one option we have is just to put it under here. We can still open chests through upside down stairs, so this way it's kind of like his nest, like he's protecting his eggs with his little feathery bottom. Another option is placing a barrel right inside of his belly. It blends in with the brown of everything else and looks totally fine. And if we want to build something inside of the owl, like increase the stock potential with hoppers and chests, we can do that by coming around to the back and breaking out the middlemost bottom stair right here. The hole created will be hidden by the tail feathers, but it will create a crawl space that we can enter simply by using this trapdoor that's built into the design to enter crawl mode and access this crawl space. Like for my rocket shop, I filled this area with tons of hoppers and chests so that there were thousands and thousands of rockets being loaded into a barrel. There's a decent amount of room in here for extra storage, or if you just want to have a place to hold your gear. Like I like having stuff in the shopping district for me to use for various projects. Now to escape, we will need a trapdoor here on the inside for us to enter crawl mode to crawl our way back out. So, before going in, just make sure you have a trapdoor on hand. Or if you have wings, you can use your elytra to bypass the trapdoors and just fly in and out of the crawl space. Hidden crawl spaces are just a really great way to create private areas in your public builds, like your shops in a shopping district. Or if you want to just add a door, you can do that as well. Just right here in between his legs, just throw a door down, surround it in some wood or some blocks, and you now have an entry point. Maybe use a ladder up to a second floor to give you a little bit more room. It's all totally up to you, but the door itself looks totally fine. I mean, it blends right in. But without further ado, let's build it. So I filled him up with iron blocks to use as a guide. So any iron blocks that you see will just be air. Just ignore them. We're just using that to measure things. And then I replaced all of the upside down stairs and upper slabs with andesite and granite. All of the stairs and all of the slabs in the entire build are dark oak. But andesite stairs are really easy to see and tell at a glance that, oh, that's an upside down stair. And then the granite is also really noticeable so that we know instantly that that is a slab. So just remember that all the stairs and slabs are dark oak. And there is a materials list in the video description. The build area is 15 by 12, 15 blocks tall. The number on the screen is what block layer we're on. If you're matching the materials used, all of the logs that you will see are going to be spruce. But all of the wood, all of the planks, all of the stairs, slabs, and trapdoors, all of that is going to be dark oak. And then the solid brown blocks are brown terracotta. Also remember that the iron blocks are just air. We're just using it as a visual aid, as a measuring tool. One thing that might make this process easier is grabbing some screenshots, especially of the overview at the end, where I fly around and show the entire thing built so that you can easily see the orientation of all of the stairs. Having those pictures on hand as a quick and easy reference will help out a lot if you get confused about how things fit together or where the stairs need to go. Again, let me know what you think about this style. I mainly wanted to test the waters with this smaller build because, again, building something larger, block by block, is going to be really painful and kind of confusing. If you get lost in a block by block tutorial, it's going to be kind of hard to find your way back. So I was hoping that in a layer by layer tutorial, even for larger builds, we can kind of keep ourselves organized in some way or another. I also wouldn't worry too much about the orientation of the logs, like the grain or the bark. If that's going vertically or horizontally, it won't affect all that much either way. It's just for feather texture anyway. It's not like it's a support beam for a house or something. So don't sweat the small stuff. Just play around and have fun with it. Plus, you never know what you might discover along the way. Sometimes happy accidents can lead us to new things that we enjoy. But with that, I'll switch over to music for a little bit and let you get to building. And we are now almost totally done. All that's left are his cute little ears. Again, let me know if you thought this process was easy to follow along. Did you enjoy the layer by layer? Did you take screenshots on your phone and use those as references? I would love to know your thoughts and opinions of this process. What would you think about building a house that's 3 times the size of this owl, layer by layer, using this process, using screenshots as references and things like that? Because I just can't think of many other ways that we could handle this. Because building something 3 times the size of this owl, block by block, if you took a break or got lost or confused halfway through, I feel like it would be really hard to find your place again when you're watching a video from a first perspective, placing individual blocks. And not only that, but for me to memorize a giant build and then replicate it on camera, it's different than redstone. You know, redstone, I can remember what the redstone is supposed to do, and that just kind of builds itself. But decorative builds don't have a function. They don't build themselves, they don't follow any rules. But for the majority of these builds, I'm going to focus on themed shopping district stuff. Not saying that it has to be a store, like this is a statue of an owl, but it's also a rocket shop. That'll just give me a direction or a focus. But in the next episode, let's go over some tips and tricks on building roads and pathways. What works, what doesn't work, and we'll examine why those things work or don't work, and hopefully come out of it with a better fundamental understanding of how to build roads and pathways and terraforming and stuff. But I'm really excited to fill up this world with all sorts of different builds, and I hope you are too. I hope you join me on this adventure. But always remember that you are totally awesome, and above all, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye.